Now, we are going to return to our reading of our reading of Benjamin Franklin, A Modest Inquiry into the Nature and Necessity of a Paper Currency, April 3rd, 1729. We will pick up where we stopped, which was on page 27. The foregoing paragraphs have been being well considered, we shall naturally be led to draw the following conclusions with regard to what persons will probably be for or against emitting a large additional sum of paper bills in this province. 1. Since men will always be powerfully influenced in their opinions and actions by what appears to be their particular interest, therefore, all those who, wanting courage to venture in trade, now practice lending money on security for exorbitant interest, which in a scarcity of money will be done notwithstanding the law. I say all such will probably be against a large addition to our present stock of paper money, because a plentiful currency will lower interest and make it common to lend on less security. 2. All those who are possessors of large sums of money and are disposed to purchase land, which is attended with a great and sure advantage in a growing country as this is, I say the interest of all such men will incline them to oppose a large addition to our money, because their wealth is now continually increasing by the large interest they receive, which will enable them, if they can keep land from rising, to purchase more some time hence than they can at present. And in the meantime, all trade being discouraged, not only those who borrow of them, but the common people in general, will be impoverished, and consequently obliged to sell more land for less money than they will do at present. And yet, after such men are possessed of as much land as they can purchase, it will then be their interest to have money made plentiful, because that will immediately make land rise in value in their hands. Now, it ought not to be wondered at if people from the knowledge of a man's interest do sometimes make a true guess at his designs, for interest, they say, will not lie. 3. Lawyers and others concerned in court business will probably many of them be against a plentiful currency, because people in that case will have less occasion to run in debt, and consequently less occasion to go to law and sue one another for their debts. Though I know some even among these gentlemen that regard the public good before their own apparent private interest. 4. All those who are in any way dependent on such person as are above mentioned, whether as holding offices, as tenants, or as debtors, must at least appear to be against a large addition, because if they do not, they must sensibly feel their present interest hurt. And besides these, there are, doubtless, many well-meaning gentlemen and others who, without any immediate private interest of their own in view, are against making such an addition, through an opinion they may have of the honesty and sound judgment of some of their friends that oppose it, perhaps for the ends aforesaid, without having given it any thorough consideration themselves. And thus it is no wonder if there is a powerful party on that side. On the other hand, those who are lovers of trade and delight to see manufactures encouraged will be for having a large addition to our currency, for they very well know that people will have little heart to advance money in trade when what they can get is scarce sufficient to purchase necessaries and supply their families with provision. Much less will they lay it out in advancing new manufactures. Nor is it possible new manufactures should turn to any account. Where there is not money to pay the workmen, who are discouraged by being paid in goods, because it is a great disadvantage to them. Again, those who are truly for proprietors' interest and have no separate views of their own that are predominant, will be heartily for a large addition, because, as I have shewn above, plenty of money will for several reasons make land rise in value exceedingly. And I appeal to those immediately concerned for the proprietor in the sale of his land, whether land has not risen very much since the first emission of what paper currency we now have, and even by its means. Now we all know the proprietary has great quantities to sell. I'm going to stop here. 2 lines down from the top on page 29.